November is a jam-packed month. We are definitely waking up this month. Our personal power with our finances and really our life choices will really be top of mind throughout the entire month. We have a Mercury Retrograde happening smack dab in the middle of the month, so it really will be causing a lot of introspection regarding those areas. My hopes with this video is to help you get prepared for this energy, as we might be faced with the decision that we need to make, or just a lot of opportunities maybe coming our way, and we're gonna need to navigate through that with honestly kind of like a little bit of an unclear idea of where that may lead to. So really trusting your intuition as you dive into the unknown. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Courtney, and this is my monthly Cosmic Energy Download series. I'm so happy to have you here. Today's video, we will be highlighting the energetic themes of the month, going over some astrology, some crystals that pair well with this energy, and finish out this video with any fun life updates. So stick around to hear that. Alrighty guys, so for the flow of this video, I'm going to be talking about the astrology highlights first, and I'm not going to lie, there are quite a lot in this video. We're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. So we're going to be talking about the full moon in Taurus. We'll be talking about Mercury Retrograde. We'll be talking about Jupiter Retrograde. We'll be talking about Venus in Scorpio, Sagittarius season, the new moon in Scorpio, and last but not least, Saturn direct in Pisces. Woo, that was a lot. Starting us off on November 5th, we will be having a super moon, the full moon in Taurus, which I'm very excited about because I'm a Taurus moon. Comment below if you're a Taurus moon as well. I love to see my fellow Taurus moons out there. Honestly, the moon is exalted in Taurus, so this is a really nice placement to have if you are a Taurus moon. And it's just a really good collective energy that everyone will feel. The full moon in Taurus on November 5th, I really do feel is going to bring a lot of peace to us at a collective level. This is a full moon to really honor your growth, thinking about just everything you have gone through this year and where you're at today. Maybe your mindset has completely shifted over the last year or the last 6 months or what have you. Maybe you feel more bolder in your approach or more alive in this moment. This is definitely a full moon to celebrate yourself, how far you've come, and just really tapping into all of your senses, really feeling at peace, doing things that it's like a sensory kind of feeling, whether it's taking a bath or indulging in aromatherapy, whatever makes you feel good. This is a moon to just make yourself feel really, really good and to honor yourself. A crystal I really recommend for the full moon in Taurus would be Libyan desert glass. If you have this tektite, I think this is a great full moon to work with it. I would do any kind of ritual where you are honoring yourself, your power, this happiness that you're feeling. Really sit with your Libyan desert glass and just feel those emotions, feel that sense of pride, feel that strength, that courage, whatever you have overcome this year. Maybe let go of things that maybe were really troublesome for you. This is a time to also release and let go of things. So whatever you're feeling during the full moon in Taurus, work with this crystal to help elevate yourself, or cast things away that aren't serving you anymore. Following the full moon in Taurus, the next day, November 6th, we have Venus entering Scorpio. I personally feel like because these two celestial moments are so close to each other, right? We have the full moon in Taurus, which Taurus is ruled by Venus, and then we have, Venus switching signs to Scorpio. We kind of have that like Taurus Scorpio energy going on right now, and I personally feel like this might be a season, might be a time with Venus in Scorpio to rethink your beliefs with the power of you creating wealth in your life, or maybe just thinking about any money blocks that you may currently have right now. I think there is an opportunity right now while Venus is in Scorpio to really think about What are you afraid to lose? Why aren't you doing certain things in your life that you feel like would uplift you more? Are you doing things that drain you? And sometimes we don't see the correlation between limiting our self-power and also like the way we manifest money in our life. If you don't believe that you can create more abundance in your life, then you're not going to create it. So I think there's a little bit of a correlation here with kind of like that energy of the full moon in Taurus and then Venus being in Scorpio. I just feel like we might be dabbling a little bit into kind of like our self-value and also the way that we create abundance in our life. Take the energy of Venus and Scorpio to transform your mindset, to think of yourself as someone who can create abundance, that can make more money, that can get a new job, that can outperform someone, or whatever your goal may be in like a career or money situation. This is a great time to do some shadow work. So maybe you need to ask yourself some questions like, do you have any kind of trauma around making money? Do you have fear of losing money? Do you have a lack mindset? Really dive into your shadow when it comes to money and maybe some blocks that you're putting up and figuring out why that may be. When it comes to love and self-love, this is definitely a time to feel sexy, to, get intimate and, have some fun. I think that Scorpio is very playful when it comes to loving relationships and not afraid to be sexy. You might be tapping more into your sensual side as you are also thinking about, the material things in your life. A crystal I recommend for Venus and Scorpio would be malachite. I do feel like malachite really helps with removing blocks. So if you do feel like you might have a lack mindset or there might be some money blocks in your life, working with malachite and doing that shadow work, I think is a perfect recipe to overcome that, to become stronger, build up your heart chakra, and know your value. All right, so next up, I'm going to be talking about Mercury Retrograde, which starts on November 9th. Mercury Retrograde begins in Sagittarius. It transitions signs and enters Scorpio on November 18th. And then ultimately, Mercury goes direct on November 29th. So those are the three key dates, November 9th, November 18th, and November 29th that I want to talk about. So first up, Mercury in Sagittarius. As we know, Mercury retrograde can cause a little bit of bumps in the road, but it also is a great time for things to kind of spring out of nowhere that are really awesome opportunities. With Mercury retrograde being in Sagittarius, I would say unexpect the unexpected and also like really joyful like opportunities. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, so a lot of abundance, a lot of kind of like awesomeness energy. I feel like Sag is like a fun energy that I always get excited when it's Sagittarius season, which I'll be chatting about in a little bit. But with Mercury and Sag, don't be shocked if something good happens during the midst of this retrograde. Now, there is a window where it's in Sagittarius because it transitions to Scorpio on November 18th. So from this point on, I feel like the Mercury retrograde energy will be shifting a little bit to uncover something about yourself that maybe you haven't had that self-realization yet, or maybe it kind of hits you in the face and you're like, wow, I'm doing this and it's causing me to feel this way. That Scorpio energy and Mercury retrograde, there is such this inward kind of energy, this contemplation about where you're at in the world, what you're doing. Like we just talked about with money blocks, maybe you're really feeling this heaviness of like coming face to face with some truths about yourself. But you know what? It is all to help you become a better person. If this Mercury retrograde you feel mid-month is kind of really weighing you down, take it easy. It depends for everyone. Everyone experiences everything differently energy-wise. So if you're feeling like Mercury in Scorpio is really weighing you down, remember that this will pass. On November 29th, Mercury goes direct. So we enter that post-shadow period. So things will start to lessen. It won't feel so intense after November 29th. It's like that home stretch. A crystal I recommend for Mercury retrograde transit would be fluorite. If you could get some fluorite jewelry, I really, really recommend wearing fluorite during Mercury retrograde. It really helps bring like mental clarity and just helps you just feel like you can own this Mercury retrograde, that you are on top of it, like you are like calling the shots. It's not Mercury retrograde calling the shots. So that's a crystal I really, really recommend during this period of time. Next up, on November 11th, speaking of retrogrades, we have a Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, which if you are a Cancer watching this, this is a really great time for you. A lot of extra luck is coming your way. Why is that? Well, when we think of Jupiter in Cancer, right? Those placements, Cancer placements, are already getting like a lot of blessings, right? They're getting a lot of blessings for this year, right? This 12-month period. And then whenever Jupiter goes retrograde, it's kind of like that inward energy. Even more amazingness will happen for those Cancer placements. So that is why this time is really great for anyone that has Jupiter in Cancer or is a Cancer sun sign, rising sign, whatever it may be. A lot of extra blessings are coming your way. On a collective level, this could bring a lot of things about your home life, your family. It could do with financial things as well. So in the midst of Mercury retrograde, we have, Jupiter retrograde, which I feel like is a good like combating energy. Like I think it's going to help bring a little bit more harmony during this Mercury retrograde. So I think this is a good thing. This will help soften things in the month of November. A crystal that I recommend for Jupiter retrograde in Cancer would be rose quartz. Just a classic, good, soft energy. You can set an intention for love. You can set an intention for money, whatever it may be. Rose quartz would be great to work with during this time. So jumping around, I'm going to be talking about the new moon in Scorpio happening on November 19th. So this new moon is really all about your evolution. It really is about this transformative energy that is possible for anyone to harness, to tap into. Think of those personal powers that you have to make choices in your everyday life. What are things that you're ready to transform? What are life choices that you need to rethink? Are you ready to commit to a new venture? Is it something with your emotions? Is it a physical transformation? Is it a spiritual, financial? Something is evolving. Something is shedding during this new moon in Scorpio. And that new thing is you. It is something that is going on in your life that you are ready to commit to say, I am this thing. I am going to pursue this, and I'm taking action steps to do that. This new moon is all about transformation. Think about that person. Think about who you are evolving into. And if you don't know who that person is, that's okay. You can work with this energy to just call in maybe like more courage in your life. Maybe you're like, I just want to feel courageous with what I do. I want to feel more brave. I want to feel happy. You can even hone into a certain emotion, and then you will see how you evolve into that person, right? You don't have to paint the picture exactly, but if you know that core kind of emotion, it'll help you with that really transformative time. A crystal I recommend for the new moon in Scorpio would be Black Moonstone. Black Moonstone is great to work with during the new moon phase. So the day of the new moon, or maybe a few days after the new moon when it's in its crescent phase, set those intentions with your Black Moonstone. It's fantastic for new energy, new things, for your evolution, for your transformation. So definitely work with Black Moonstone. We are nearing the end here. I know there's so many things going on in November. On November 21st, we welcome Sagittarius season, which honestly is one of my favorite seasons. I feel like it's such a positive time. There's also, the element of just new things happening, right? There is this this fire with like just relationships, with endeavors. There's this sense of adventure out there. I think this is a season to say yes to a lot of things, but because we are in Mercury retrograde, be really cautious, or just really think about things before you commit and say yes. Normally I would always, say like, this is the season to say yes to this, blah, blah, blah. But because we have that Mercury retrograde, just make sure that it feels good energetically and you don't foresee any road bumps, because we might be saying yes and not thinking about it all the way through. And then we're like, oh shoot, I can't do this, or like, this is going to lead to this. This is an issue. So really think about things before you commit to them, especially while we're still in Mercury retrograde and dealing with that first week of the post shadow. A crystal I recommend for Sagittarius season would be green aventurine. This will definitely help with all that introspective energy and just like making good choices. If you feel like you need a little luck on your side, this is like my go-to lucky crystal. So get some green aventurine. Alrighty, last but certainly not least, on November 27th, we have a Saturn direct in Pisces. Saturn has been in retrograde in Pisces, which can bring a lot of kind of like rigidness to our dreams and to our hopes and desires. And, this teacher planet telling us like, no, you need to study harder, or you're not ready, blah, blah, blah. Like there's this confinement, which Pisces energy doesn't really like. They like to be free flowing and to be imaginative. And when Saturn, is retrograde, it can kind of feel really heavy. We feel really restricted. So now that Saturn is direct, it's like this, especially by this time, we'll be pretty much at the end of Mercury retrograde. So things are just going to feel like things are lessening up. We're not going to feel like so tightly wound at this time. Whatever kind of like creative projects maybe you've been working on, you feel like you're getting a little bit more ready to release them. I would say this is, December, January, it's a good time to kind of slowly break out, maybe put out some of that art or put out some of those writings, whatever creative project you've been working on. With Saturn direct now, it's a good time, to kind of push those out. I would wait fully until we're out of Mercury retrograde, but still things are looking good. So this is a time to kind of slowly start to put your work out there. I do not have a crystal recommendation for this because it's just Saturn direct. But yeah, I'm happy to dive into some life updates. I'm so excited because I'm going to be going to New York in 2 weeks. I've never ever really been to the East Coast. I think the farthest east I've been is Chicago, if I'm not mistaken. So New York City. I'm so excited. I'm going to be staying in Times Square. And I will be documenting my trip. I will be documenting my trip on TikTok. So if you do not follow me on TikTok, the link is down below if you want to check out my TikTok page. But I will definitely be documenting my New York adventure. I'm so excited. Things that I definitely want to do. I mean, some of these are given, but I really want to do like a New York City bus tour. I really want to go to Central Park. I want to try as many pizza places as I possibly can. I want to go to the 9/11 museum. I want to go ice skating at Rockefeller Center. I want to see a Broadway show. I want to go shopping maybe in Soho. There's so much to do. I'm going to be there for about a week. I think 8 days total. Yeah, 8 days, which is crazy. I will be working also while I'm there. So like Monday through Thursday will be like, I'll be, doing my job. I work remotely. So I have Thursday off. I have Friday off. So I'll have all day Friday, Saturday, Sunday to explore. I fly home Monday. So I'm so excited. In other news, what else have I been doing? I've been on kind of like a wellness kick, I'd say. I joined ClassPass. I've been going to Pilates. I've been doing Pilates classes. I've been doing Legree classes. I've been really loving mega former classes. So good. They make me so sore. So I've been really doing that a lot. I also, if you watch my last vlog, I did a cryotherapy appointment. I have 2 more booked for the rest of the year. I think my next cryotherapy is around Thanksgiving, like the day before, day after, maybe it's 2 days before Thanksgiving. Something around there. Cryotherapy is really cool. It's just like, I don't even know how to explain it. I don't even know what it technically like is, but it's just like you go inside this box or this tube, whatever you have available, and it gets filled with freezing cold, like air and something else. And you just stand there for like 2 minutes shaking. And the benefits of it are really when you step outside, you are like getting a rush of energy. You're just feeling really happy. It does something with your brain, I feel like, to make you feel like, woo. And it kind of lasts for the rest of the day, I'd say. You're feeling pretty energized. I remember I went home and I ran, I cleaned my house. Like I was feeling really good. I wanted to do it just because during like the wintry kind of like fall time, I feel like you can get like seasonal depression or stuff like that. So I was like, I really want to make sure I'm keeping my energy up and boosting my energy. Sometimes I feel like when it is cloudy, I feel a little bit more sad, or I am just like, oh, I wish it wasn't cloudy. So it's like, maybe I'll try cryo to kind of keep my spirits up. But I'm a fan of, trying new things. So yeah, trying cryo. Other than that, guys, I hope that you are excited for November. It's going to be a busy one. I know I'll be traveling during all of this going on. I'll be in New York, which is crazy. But I hope a lot of good things happen for you in the month of November. I'm wishing you the absolute best. If you liked today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you're new here, I'd love it if you subscribed. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I will see you in my next one.